Hello and welcome back. You've stumbled across the sallow and sunken corpse of Gintama once more. Although maybe, just like in the last arc, it's been reborn into a show that actually resembles some sort of plot and cohesion. I doubt it, but that's where the fun lies. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. So, pull your socks up, let's watch some Gintama. Now, if I remember even the slightest glimpses of the preview of the last one, I believe it was Hasegawa. Of course, there can never be a bad storyline involving him. You know, unless you count his life. And previous arcs and stories have been setting up future storylines using characters that are not left by the wayside, but I would say purposefully absent. And I wonder when the next deeply hitting moment of Gintama crops up, because despite its seemingly aloof relationship with seriousness, some elements can hit hard. So what, we're just going to have story time with Hasegawa. Wouldn't be the best to approach people when they're dead at night like this. Hey, it's a bug. Hercules beetle. Well, stag beetle. Can't remember which is which. Does anyone feel called out by that? Not so much of a bad existence. You know, all they wanted to do was enjoy summer a little longer. I guess Hasegawa would be one to make statements like this because he has held quite a few jobs. Obviously not for very long, but how long before he's arrested? He's been homeless and out of work for too long. Be thankful your life hasn't descended into the hell that is his. What, to stop others following in his footsteps, ruining their days. It's a public service, really, what he's doing here. He didn't stick around long, did he? I'd say the Hasegawa was just bored. There's not a lot for him to do out here. Is there any need for him to smash all of their dreams so easily? I wondered... That's Kentucky in the making. I wondered if we would recognise that voice, but I don't. I mean... A job is a job. When literally just regaling of your past becomes a harrowing tale. But was that a ghost in line? Even the ghosts are terrified. The issue would be as if he starts to make up these stories. Like, they wouldn't hold the same kind of emotional connection. Plus, nothing he can imagine really would be close to his own real suffering. This is going to be stupid. Whenever there's a let's tell stories that we've made up, it's either just nicking a different franchise entirely, okay, I think I might. It is, yeah. Since I did actually get this one. Never seen the anime. Don't really know anything about it, but I had that name in my head for some reason. This angle was not good for that mustache. Just saying what she's... Is Gintoki have an existential crisis back there? And is she just saying whatever she's seen on TV recently? Oh, let's start again. Maybe I should be watching this late at night. I mean, some people have resorted to some things that you wouldn't even think possible, especially when starvation and whatnot starts to set in. And you know, this was for your own good. This might actually have been a slightly creepy story. Oh, crap. Whenever we almost have something good... No, you can't... Can't have any segment go down without, well, some theme song bursting out. And did any of us really think that we'd escape without... Is that how you attain flight? Did we really think we'd escape another story without it returning to the thing that's obviously on our mind? Well, we know that Gintoki really doesn't deal well with ghosts, but I guess lawsuits is another thing. Is Shinpachi's story going to be very kind of mundane? Luckily, we don't actually have to watch the advertising. It was a broken household. Is Shinpachi's little story going to go down the... Yep, matricide. I wonder if he's going to... If this story is going to take a route of like the Telltale Heart. She went down to the shops. You know, if he keeps leaving a trail with the spade like that, they're going to be able to find him quite easily. Well, at least she's happy. That's actually kind of a cool little... God damn it, Kagura! Stay out of this! That was actually somewhat of a good story. Bring up the... I guess I can't remember which ghost tale it is, but, you know. Also, didn't they come to Hasegawa not for ghost stories, but for his terrible life choices? When even ghosts can't haunt you. Surely Hasegawa should know by now just to leave. He's... We're sorry. Please don't sue us. We won't disparage your your intellectual property. Do we need the flashlight? Oh, an actual just plushie of a Pegasus. You know, Hasegawa, even though we all know it, you don't have to interject quite so early. This is terrifying. What a nice dialect for a unicorn toy. I never knew plushies were able to have such good diction. Also, if you're telling a story, we kind of need the backstory and context of who these people are if they're going to be, oh, they were killed off in season 3. I took a wrong turning. Can you give me directions, actually? Okay. Reminds me of those stupid, like, scary movies. Obviously the first two. The others aren't worth mentioning. Just how much of a phone bill is he going to rack up? How courteous. It was it was taken by security. You know, you're not allowed on airplanes with that. Morocco. Ended up, trying to exact vengeance, but went to the wrong house. How it's good that they're slightly advancing the plot. I don't think I can continue on. This is too much for my heart. But where would the fun be if everything just followed normal kind of practices with the writing and the storylines? And yet it still rings. It should have closed the window. Actually, that was fine. It is Phoenix all the way down. It's just a cluster of all the previous stories put together, isn't it? This would be one ultimate suplex. I think she's going to need to move, wouldn't be enough room in a house for all of that. Who? That's the lawsuits coming in. I mean, it obviously won't be any work. Ha! Oh. Go on, kid, you can make it. Well, it looks like storytime was a success. With only some of the party being stripped of all of their assets. I suppose, yeah, this is what it would be like if the characters were in this style, like the Elizabeth helmet. Maybe not the cardboard armour. Might be best not to answer. Just sellotape a new sign over the top. I don't think this is something you would see in any other series where the show itself knows it's kind of straddling that line and acknowledges it to this extent. I mean, we weren't ever going to get really anything truly heart-pounding in the way of stories from any of the cast and crew, but that's the feeling of sheer disappointment on how it turned out. That's something we know all too much. Ghost. Was that one from a previous arc long ago? Was that at the inn? Is that the one I'm remembering? The one with the lots of JoJo references. Cardboard fort. This is going to be interesting. That's all I need to know. We'll be watching the next episode of Gintama pretty soon. And if you wanted spooky, scary stories, just remember that we have been watching Gintama for 282 episodes. But luckily, I'm not quite done yet. There's still plenty more to go, plenty of things to see, hopefully some interesting tales. That is, if all the animation budget doesn't go to, defending them in court. I think what made the initial draw of Hasegawa's tale so enticing was that fact of cautionary tales. Some of these things can be true, can happen to you if you're not careful. And of course, Hasegawa being the number one point of reference for someone's life which is completely screwed. But still, if you enjoyed this episode of Gintama, you're going to have to let me know. Leaving a like and a comment down below is definitely one way of doing it. And if you decide to subscribe, it really helps out the channel. But for now, maybe not rewrite all of your current stories by putting in the latest thing you saw on TV. Or maybe do. You get published as Gintama then. But get some rest. See you in the next one. If you want to see the slow degradation of my life choices into a horror story for your amusement, well, look no further than my channel. And if you would like to fund this misadventure, consider joining onto my Patreon. There, you can join the giggling crowd that is Electric Ant, Arthea, Noku, Raywin, Shiwan, Mecha, Matt, Stinsfire, Jennifer Rojas, Girly, Kite, Saltytron, Cardboard, Dark Shadow, 7899, and everyone else. Because, God knows, when the copyright police finally come for me, I need all the help I can get.